Well, good evening, NBA and Laker fans, and welcome into the Lakers 365 Network, your 24/7, 365 comprehensive home of the NBA and your 16-time NBA champion LA Lakers, where all pets are welcome on the air, alongside Chris Mancy via Apple's FaceTime from the Internet Studios in Anaheim, California. Cal McClurg and his pet dog, Rodney, who is fighting with me for my microphone right now from the Studio 171 in San Diego. Chris, good evening. My dog's attacking me. Other than that, how's it going tonight, dude?
Just so excited right now. The Lakers came back. Just still exhausted.
Well, folks, it was not the prettiest of starts for the Lake Show tonight at Staples Center as the Lakers chalk up a much-needed win tonight after getting basically trucked in 3 consecutive games over the stretch of the first game of the preseason. The Lakers tonight, finally, with a much-needed win tonight, folks. They get the W tonight over the Utah Jazz at Staples Center, 98-91. The Lakers overcame a 22-point deficit tonight to win the ball game tonight while dealing with 7 different injuries once more again for the game tonight, again, as we know about the injury problems going on. And there was a roster move made earlier in the day today. Jeremy Tyler, according to reports from LakersNation.com, is going to be waived by the franchise and will be signing with a club over in China. Not playing tonight, folks. We'll get to the injury problems real quick first for the Lakers before we get to anything else here with the game. Keith Appling, DND left shoulder injury. Jordan Clarkson, DND left calf strain. Xavier Henry, sore right knee, not with the team, sore right knee and back. Ryan Kelly, DND, sore right hamstring. Jeremy Lin, sprained ankles, DND. Steve Nash, we already know, DND, sore back. Jeremy Tyler, DNP, coach's decision. Nick Young, DND, his torn ligament in his right thumb. The Lakers, again, folks, after starting off slow once more, battled back and beat the Jazz tonight, 98-91, to record their second win of the preseason. The stats from tonight's game, as far as it goes for the arena tonight, the game played tonight at the Staples Center in downtown Los Angeles. Tonight's officials were Mark Lindsay, Ben Taylor, and Tom Washington. Total attendance, 17,733. Time of the game tonight, 2 hours and 16 minutes. Chris, if we look back at the game tonight, man, before we get to all the player stats and the box scores, Chris, okay, another rugged, tough start for the Lakers again tonight. In that first half, just having a very rough start once more again. But again, Chris, it wasn't like a game we saw earlier on. The 2 Golden State games or last time with Utah where they, hey, they said, look, we're down, but let's try to come back, Chris. And they made a lot of great things happen in that second half. There was so many great defensive stops, defensive plays, dunks, three-pointers, Chris. Was this a completely different Lakers team we saw in the second half than the first half of this ballgame tonight? Or what adjustments did you see take place during the second half of the game tonight?
I missed part of the second half, but I think it was pretty much a different ball club in the second half.
Chris, I think the message here from Byron Scott is the Lakers have not been aggressive lately. They've been sort of sitting back, letting the game come to them where it's not them attacking the game. And that was what I believe, Chris, we saw differently in the second half of the game tonight was the Lakers came out firing and said, look, we're tired of losing. We're tired of being in these predicaments where we're down, 22 points a game. And Chris, for them, though, Chris, to come back without Nash, without Lynn, without all of their main puzzle pieces, except Kobe and Boozer in there, that they were able to rally back with bench players, reserves, guys battling for roster spots, that they came back, had that determination to come back and win the game tonight, man. And to overcome that 22-point deficit is beyond my mind right now because, honestly, Chris, I think everyone out there, the entire Laker Nation would say no again. And, another terrible first half. This game's going to be over with. But, Chris, adjustments probably, man, was the defense picked up their game. The Lakers were more physical down low in the paint tonight, down the night. And by the way, folks, the points of the paint tonight finished 44-44. So, Chris, the Lakers were getting outworked and outmuscled earlier in the game, Chris, and they stepped up the game in the paint. The defense, Chris, I think was the biggest turning point tonight. There was so many steals. And, Chris, let's talk about one player, Chris, before we get to the box score, Chris. Ronnie Price. The price was, in fact, right for the game tonight, man. So many great possessions he had of either baskets, crucial defensive stops, playing an all-around great game. Chris, what do you think about Ronnie Price stepping up big, knowing that he's right now battling for a roster spot right now, and his play tonight may have solidified at least maybe a role job right now off the bench, perhaps? What do you think?
I think they're very awesome. It was great to see Ronnie Price stepping up. Probably solidify himself a spot on the roster, probably as a bench role or something, and just very great to see Ronnie Price stepping up.
We'll get to the box scores now, folks, but first get to the box score for the Jazz tonight. The Jazz with the loss faltered to 4-2 on the season. Gordon Hayward, 8 points. Derek Favors, 4. Enes Kanter, 14. Dante Exum, 5. And Alec Burks, 21. Off the bench tonight, Jeremy Evans, no points. Ian Clark and Rodney Hood had 9. Rudy Gobert, 8. Dontre Jones, 7. Carrick Felix, none. And Steve Novak, 6. Not playing tonight for the Jazz. Trevor Booker, DND, sprained right ankle. Trey Burke, Jack Cooley, Brock Modem, and Torrey Murray, DNP's coaches' decisions. For the Lake Show tonight, the Lakers with the win improved to 2-3 on the preseason schedule. Wes Johnson, 9. Carlos Boozer, 19. Jordan Hill, 7. Kobe Bryant, 26, including the Lakers' first made three-pointer in 3 games since they have really struggled to get their three-point game going. And Ronnie Price, 6 off the bench. Wayne Ellington, 9 points. Robert Sacre, 4. Julius Randle, 8. Roscoe Smith, 3. Jabari Brown, no points. And Ed Davis had 8. And again, folks, the laundry list of players not playing tonight. Keith Appling, D&D, left shoulder. Jordan Clarkson, D&D, left calf strain. Xavier Henry, not with the team, sore right knee and back spasms. Ryan Kelly, sore right hamstring. Jeremy Lin, D&D, sprained ankles. Steve Nash, D&D, sore back. Jimmy Tyler, DNP, coach's decision. Nick Young, D&D, torn ligament, right thumb. Other stats to note, folks, the line score the night score by periods for the Jazz, 32, 22, 18, 19 across the board for 91. And for the Lakers, 20 and 18, 31 and 29 for a game total of 98. Points in the paint, Jazz and Lake Show tied up at 44 apiece. Second chance points, 17-18. Lakers, 5-11 on second chance points. The biggest leads in the night, the Jazz led by 22. The Lakers basically was 9. 14 different lead changes, and 7 times tonight, both squads were tied. Well, Chris, again, it's a sort of, a tale of two halves in that the Jazz had started so hot again, like they basically, Chris, again, picked up where they left off back earlier in the first game between these two teams, at Honda Center in Anaheim, Chris, where tonight it was more of the same, yes, but at the same time, it was with Utah starting off up, but again, Chris, it was the Lakers getting themselves back up off the ground and back in the ball game after what was another rough start again. Turnovers, missed shots, poor execution, Chris. Again, man, is this more of the Lakers coming back and winning, or is this about the Jazz blowing this lead incrementally and dropping this game tonight at Staples Center?
I think it was pretty much the Lakers not giving up, even though it's down by a lot, not giving up after the second half to start the third quarter, and just comebacks and got the win.
Chris, let's talk about a few individual players now for the Lakers. Of course, Chris, Kobe Bryant, 26 points. Again, Chris, the Lakers have struggled so badly to find their three-point stroke in the past 3 games that they finally got it tonight with Kobe hitting 3 of them tonight. Kobe, by the way, folks, finished 3 of 7 from the three-point line. The Lakers, as a team, shot 4 of 13 from the three-point line, shooting 30% from the three-point line. And, Chris, that's been a problem, though, that the Lakers have had in the past 2 games is they can't seem to find that three-point shooter yet, or shooting, I should say. So Kobe, 26. Then, of course, Chris, Carlos Boozer, great game again, 19 points. Shot 6 of 12 from the field, 7 of 7 on free throw attempts tonight. He had 19 points. And, of course, after that, Chris, the small drop-off. But, again, Chris, there's going to be one player you sort of name that you give the game ball to, Chris. I mean, I'm kind of going towards Ronnie Price because of things, Chris, he did not do on the stat sheet, which was the defensive stops, the steals, the turnovers, the big blocks, things like that. You could say Kobe. But, Chris, I'm going to go with, I think my game MVP tonight, Chris, has got to be Ronnie Price because he stepped up in so many great and big moments of the ball game. If I had to pick another one, Chris, Julius Randle had a couple of big baskets towards the end of the night as well. Chris, who do you think, though, in your mind, gets the game ball from you and why?
I think probably Carlos Boozer stemming up with a lot of points, rebounds, and I think probably looking like his days with the Utah Jazz.
Yeah, as Billy Mack and Stu alluded to, Chris, on the Time Warner Cable Sportsnet broadcast this evening was, the Lakers had to do something like that in order for them to get a chance to stay in this ball game, which was Boozer sort of going back to those Utah Jazz days of him turning back the clock. Basically, him and Kobe have to do that. Now, Chris, if it's not, Chris, I don't think we've talked about, I don't think there's been a show where we've not talked about the injury problems, Chris, and it continues to mount, man. Okay, Appling's out, shoulder injury, Chris. Okay, man. The Lakers are already depleted, man, where half of the players are already still injured, Chris. And I know that you told me that you want the season to get here, man, but right now, kind of hit the patience button, Chris, because you need these last few games, man, to get these guys healthy. This is not a good start again to get off on the wrong foot here with all these injuries again, folks, if you did not catch it again. But again, Keith Appling, shoulder, Clarkson, calf, Henry, sore right knee, and his back spasms, Kelly's hammy, Lynn's ankles, Nash's sore/bad back, Tyler, coach's decision, Young, RCL, torn ligament. Chris, again, man, the injury problems are mounting, man, but again, this is where you do, though, need these last 3 games to sort of, let these bodies continue to heal and get those injuries and get those legs fresh for week 1 against the Rockets in about 9 days, right?
Right. I agree.
So again, folks, the Lakers down by 22, come back to beat the Jazz tonight at Staples Center. The final score again tonight, final score, Lakers 98, Utah 91. Okay, Chris, we'll go to the next game for the Lakers again, which will be back on Tuesday night, folks, as we make our way down to the final home stretch of the preseason games. The Lakers face the longtime Pac Division rival Phoenix Suns at the Honda Center in Anaheim, California. Game time set for 7 o'clock p.m. Chris, Phoenix is going to be a team that a lot of people are going to be keeping an eye on because of how they've retooled over the offseason. Isaiah Thomas comes in. Goran Dragic had a great season. Eric Bledsoe resigns. Chris, the Suns have given the Lakers problems in the past few seasons, as has every team that's been there. The records, folks, by the way, the Suns come in at 3-1. The Lakers will be coming in at 2-3. Game, again, is on Tuesday at 7 o'clock on TWCSN and ESPN LA 710 from the Honda Center in Anaheim, California. Chris, the Suns, we said, man, has sort of given the Lakers, a bit of a rough ride as of late, man. Thoughts about this game coming up on Tuesday from the pond in the Big OC?
I think it might be a great game. Probably back and forth, or probably like what we saw today. The Lakers down by a lot, maybe. Probably trying to come back and win. And I think Julius Randle might step up and put up probably like 20-plus points.
Chris, Byron Scott's been sort of very critical of Julius in the media and the press lately, again, of how he's, again, it's rookie mistakes, yeah, but again, you got to kind of get those again, folks. The Lakers and Suns on Tuesday night from the Honda Center in Anaheim, California, 7 p.m. tip-off. Lakers, Suns, game can be seen on TWCSN, TWCD, and, of course, on the radio on ESPN LA 710. Chris, some quick news here from the Lakers from the Lake Show before we do get to the scores and we wrap up for the night here, Chris. About Xavier Henry, Chris, what we have heard from the Lakers and from a few other people, Chris, is Xavier Henry is going to be seeking a second option for his bad back problem, for his back spasms that has been giving him a whole mess of problems, Chris. And again, the back is a problem that, as we know, Chris, very well with Steve Nash right now. But again, right now, folks, what we have heard here again is, at least from reports here, again, Xavier Henry seeking out a second opinion on his on his lingering back problems right now. We'll get some of the tidbits out of here from the press release here, courtesy of the Wasserman Media Group. But from LA, Xavier Henry will travel to NYC to seek a second option from Dr. Keith Payne. Following this summer's knee surgery, he will then travel to Germany, where, of course, Kobe Bryant has gone for his knee procedures to get that transfusion into his knee. Again, we will hopefully see Xavier sometime soon, hopefully sometime within the next 3 games. Again, folks, the remaining Lakers preseason schedule Phoenix on Tuesday in Anaheim, Portland and Ontario, California on Wednesday, and then on Friday, Sacramento will be that game will be from the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada, to wrap up the 2014 NBA preseason. The scores from tonight in the NBA across the board here, as we get them to pop up here. In the first ever 11-minute quarter, 44-minute game tonight, Boston over Brooklyn 95-90. T-Wolves 112, Thunder 94. Bulls edged the Hornets 101-96. Rockets over the Warriors 90-83. And the Lakers beat the Jazz 98-91. There is a 7-game slate tomorrow night on the NBA preseason menu and buffet for you folks. Tomorrow we got New Orleans at Washington at 4 o'clock, Chicago at Cleveland 4 o'clock, Philadelphia, Brooklyn 7:30, Milwaukee at New York 4:30, and the late games tomorrow night, Charlotte at Atlanta 4:30, Memphis at Dallas 5:30, and the Kings at Spurs also at 5:30 tomorrow night. Chris, as we get ready to wrap things up here for the night, man, we've had a pretty good viewership tonight, about 2 to 3 people watching tonight. Chris, your last thoughts about tonight's game, and also your last thoughts about tonight's game, and also a preview of the upcoming game on Tuesday in your hometown up there in Anaheim, California, against the Phoenix Suns.
It was just a great win by the Lakers tonight. Didn't give up. Just came out in the second half. And to get the win, put up like, I think, 31-something points in the third quarter. And just fought through the game to get the win. And I think it's going to be a head-to-head, back and forth Tuesday night against the Phoenix Suns.
With that, ladies and gentlemen, on Sunday, October 19th, 2014, from the Staples Center in downtown Los Angeles, the LA Lakers erased a 22-point deficit to come back and beat the Utah Jazz 98-91. The Lakers with the win improved their record to 2-3. The Jazz with the loss faltered to 4-2. Again, folks, we'll be back here with you folks on Tuesday night after the Lakers take on the Suns from the Honda Center in Anaheim, California. Tip-off is set again for 7 o'clock. For Chris Mancy in Anaheim, California, Cal McClurg signing off here from San Diego. We'll see you folks back here again on Tuesday night when the Lakers take on the Phoenix Suns. Till then, folks, have a safe night. Drive home safely. Thank you for coming, and good night now. This has been the Lakers 365 Network. See you folks back here on Tuesday night. Bye-bye.